Hello there, and welcome to the Cargo Bay Presents Set Guides Star Wars Unlimited. I'm Brady C here with my co-host as always.
Adam B. What is this, BC?
What the heck is Star Wars Unlimited?
Well, that's what we're going to figure out, and we're going to beat everybody else to the YouTube algorithm about this Star Wars Unlimited stuff here, BC. So basically, I mean, to summarize, this is Star Wars making a Magic the Gathering collectible trading card game play once again. I think this looks to be more directly a Magic the Gathering type than the old Star Wars trading card game. So this will be coming out in the near future. So we're just going to kind of run through some of the information that we have because it is scattered all over the website and kind of hard to parse. So I think this is a more efficient way to go through it, honestly.
There's a lot of links to click on when you click the view news regarding Star Wars Unlimited. I was kind of overwhelmed when I looked at it.
Yeah. So this is a Reader's Digest version. You may or may not be interested in this at all. I'm not sure if I'm interested in this at all, but it is.
Let's pick that apart for a second.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a big TCG guy.
Yeah.
Right. It's just never really been my thing. It doesn't mean I don't want it to be. I've played Magic probably a couple times, but this, when they say, "Hey, we're going to do a Star Wars version with collectible cards," I'm kind of like, I don't know, I might scratch an itch I'm interested in,
Yeah, I have been bitten by the trading card game bug several times, and it is something I avoid because I'm susceptible to it. And
well, I've got a good friend who just calls this cardboard crack.
Yes, that's a term that's been around since I was in high school, and definitely described how I treated Magic the Gathering and other card games. What I will say is, I think the best way to play these games are through pre-release tournaments. Which is you pay a flat fee, and they're like draft-style tournaments where you open a pack, take a card, pass it down, and the cards circulate, and you build your deck as you go, and then play a tournament. So for a flat fee, you get a good share of cards, and you get to play in a tournament, and this seems to be really geared to those kind of release events. So this is for card stores to say, hey, tonight's Star Wars Sunday, come on down for the new set of Star Wars Unlimited and get your promos and whatever, and we'll play the cards. So I do think that is a fun way to spend an evening. I did a lot of Magic tournaments, and that was always fun. This is long, long ago. Once Magic brought in those commanders, get out of here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here with the Commanders? What are we, a Washington-based football team? Come on.
Well, VC, here on the next slide. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe, even if our logo or the like and subscribe button is behind Boba Fett. This might have been hastily put together.
You should still do it. Even if my Star Wars sign in the background is on the fritz here, you should still like and subscribe.
I like it being on the fritz. I think it makes it much more Star Wars.
It does, yeah. It adds a production element that is really hard to replicate. So we'll just go with it.
Well, VC, here's the box of the stuff. Coming March 8th, 2024, which is really around the corner. It's only 6 months away.
Jiminy Jenkins. You can pre-order this, right? This is available for pre-order. Because I know the most recent thing I could even tangentially compare this to is I know Disney has done Lorcana, which is the Disney trading card game, and those boxes just went stupid in terms of pricing based off of speculation. So I wouldn't be surprised if the exact same thing happens with Star Wars, because it's Star Wars.
I would be really surprised if it did. I think they would continue to print this stuff if that were the case, because they want a player. This really does feel like it's geared toward actually playing the game versus collectability and rarity of cards. So I don't know. I would be surprised if that happened. I don't know. It could be though. We'll see. But
who knows?
That would...
I also, because I'm a sucker for things in general.
Yeah.
So when Magic did the Lord of the Rings stuff, I was like, oh, I love Lord of the Rings. It'd be cool to open some of those packs.
Yeah.
I don't have anyone to play it with, but I do like the cards. I think they look cool. I like having them. So I don't know. Might be worth taking a look at what some of these bad Larrys look like.
Well, yeah, you can see there's a very defined style. I like the box with all the greeblies and the French-looking things. I like the art style in general to a degree. I think once we get into the cards, we'll see that the art style mixed with the card graphic design very much looks like it is aimed at people who play Fortnite. You know, it's like a very friendly, bright kind of. It doesn't look super Star Wars to me. That box looks nice and Star Warsy, but let's move on to our first slide of cards here. Talk vaguely about the gameplay, which the big hook, BC, is that you got a ground battle and a space battle at the same time.
Whoa! Just like a Star War.
You know, I love that there are vehicle cards. They've got a base, you got a ground battle, you got a space battle. You can go read all the rules if you want to. And you have a hero. So this is kind of like the commanders in Magic, where your force will be led by one of these hero cards, which presumably will be the most rare, but will also have to be in, highly produced.
Right. Yeah.
I think the print run and the rarity on these and I think has been a problem, quote unquote, with Magic the Gathering is like you can't actually make super ultra rare cards or people can't play your game, right?
They print a bunch of this stuff, right?
Yeah. So I think everything will be plentiful. But yeah, I mean, I've read through the mechanics. It really does seem like Magic the Gathering. If I move on, you have items and you have events and units, which is like spells and instants and what have you. Like, seems to be pretty easily paralleled. What do you think about these card designs, BC? I'm kind of split on them.
Yeah, I don't. The art style is distinct. I'm kind of okay on it. To me, and for this sort of stuff, as someone who hasn't ever really played a lot of it, I think the design's okay. I'm really more interested in actually playing the game and seeing how the mechanics work. Like, if we did another version of Hobby Talk, I'd probably talk about board games because I love playing board games, which this to me falls in that realm of like, oh, there's sets of rules and there's game mechanics and there's strategy that all goes into it. So it's like, I'm interested in learning how all of the mechanics on the card work in actual live gameplay. But there's also the part of me that's like, I'm too nervous to go to a pre-release event and sign up for something and play with people I don't know.
Yeah.
But maybe this would be something because it is Star Wars and I do think it's relatively cool that I do think the trading card Star Wars game is pretty cool, if I can say so myself. I know what's cool.
Only the coolest
is Star Wars trading card games
are going to be at those pre-release events. No
only the coolest
allowed.
of the cool. Yeah, no geeks allowed.
Definitely no one getting really angry during those tournaments.
I would go in and be a room full of dudes that look like me, and it's like, cool, here we all are. They found how to get us in the room together. But it is something that I think I am actively interested in playing. But it is that like, would I be willing to go out to the game store here and sit down for a tournament, or could I find someone else who's interested in playing too,
Yep.
But in terms of the cards, I look at those and I'm like, I want to know, because I love the mechanics of gameplay, right? Like in figuring out how all the different things interact with the board, the strategy of it. That part of board games and card games really is the sweet spot for me.
That's the fun of Magic was you could figure out new ways to kind of break open the game, especially before it was just look on the internet for who's playing what strategy. When it was a thing, I played at the lunchroom table and it was like, is that legal? Can that even be legal? Yeah, it is. I've been working on this tactic for a long time. So we'll see how much the cards are open to that kind of play
You telling me I gotta discard every piece of mana that I have?
Yeah, because I thought of a brand new combo that's never been created before.
Boom!
But I will say that the design of the numbers specifically, like the font and I liked the design of the cards, they look good, but the font sets make me think this is not gonna be a highly intellectual this seems very kid friendly.
Yeah, might be a little simplistic in the mechanics.
Yeah, I could be wrong. But here's the coolest thing to me, BC, is they have different colors. They have 3 colors here. They have red aggression, green is command, and yellow is cunning, I think. But I like some I love that Magic the Gathering, it's like, what kind of deck do you run? Well, I run a blue and white deck, or I run a green and red deck, I love that kind of stuff, so that's fun. I like that there's a yellow set, of course, but yeah, here's some more cards. It really does just seem like Magic Light, but we'll see.
The more I see it, the more my dumb monkey brain is like, I'm gonna get that.
Yeah, it looks very satisfying. I'm imagining a great day where you and I are sitting at a table. If we lived in the same vicinity, we would probably play this.
Play the crap out of this.
We'd sit with our sleeved cards and
slam
them on the table. But yeah, it is at least not boring. What I do appreciate most is that there has been effort put into these cards, and it does look unique. It's not just a rehash of stuff we've seen.
Yeah, it's new art for sure. Like it's new design in terms of the actual images that are on. That's cool. I just generally like seeing new Star Wars art. So it's nice to see new images. It is a distinct style. So it's like adjacent to mainline Star Wars, but it feels that way, and it seems like it lives in the world of its own trading card sort of realm,
And it could be a thing like Magic, where if this keeps going, hey, 2 sets down the line, everything looks a little different. Who knows?
Yeah.
But pretty cool. And then here you have this base showcase and hyperspace cards, BC.
Yeah, so there's again, of course, for the chase heads out there, there are there's going to be foils and variations, and down at the bottom you can kind of see there's the different pack odds. So there's let's look at the Akbar. So there's the regular Akbar is the one on the left. The hyperspace version is the one on the right, and then from the hyperspace version, it can also go into a foil hyperspace rare legendary, which is 1 in every 50 packs. So it's like there is that chase element. Again, that has 0 effect on the gameplay. It's purely aesthetics and more towards collectability. So there is that part of it too. The showcase of the Leia that's the regular Leia, and then there's the showcase version. The showcase cards, I believe, are the rarest of what you can get out of this based off of what I was seeing. So there is that like chase element of, hey, there are these cards that are not printed as much as just the regular cards.
Maybe that could drive some price
up. Thing. It's like, oh, I've got the showcase foil Leia that is 1 in whatever boxes. I don't know.
It's a cool looking card.
I think the art's cool. I mean, from a player perspective, it's like it'd be cool to get one, but the fact that it doesn't change the gameplay is kind of like, I don't know. It'd be cool if you got a super rare card that does something that other cards. I mean, I know there's rarity built into and the stats of the card, right? So there are some that are harder to pull, but do more. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting that there is still, of course, like a lot of other trading card games, sparkly versions that make it also collectible.
Yeah, and these full art hyperspace cards, just the base cards being 2 and 3 packs, that's a fun incentive to keep your customers fiending at the old card store while they're sitting around
keep them coming back.
And I think there's stuff too. Of course, this is just meant to be a money machine more than anything. Yeah. We'll see how well they do. But I don't like that the game has tokens. That's a pretty common thing, but I think those tokens look bad. Whatever, that's fine. What I do like are these different colored deck boxes for your different I want that yellow fancy deck box.
I know you do. Woo! You picked that image for a reason.
Yeah. And then also, of course, the promo cards that will be exclusive, these 3-pack promo cards will be exclusive to events. So again, this is really for trying to bring people into the card shop, which is, it's cool. It's not a culture that I am a part of anymore, but let me tell you.
It's something you would have been familiar with at a certain time.
Yeah, there was briefly a comic book store in my tiny hometown. It should not have been there. I don't know why it was, and it was one of the most wonderful things in my youth to go down and play tournaments in the tiny little comic book store. So yeah, this would be very cool if I were doing that kind of thing. And
right.
Finally, BC, this is created by or published by Fantasy Flight Publishing, and I think I've played this Twilight Imperium game, I believe, which is the first game they published, or their first big hit, and clearly they've worked with a lot of giant IP here before. Yeah. They've made a lot of board games, so I have some faith that it will be a fun game to play. Yeah.
Well designed, should be a relatively easy pick up and play, not a huge threshold to have to cross to get into it.
Although that Twilight Imperium, I think, is one of those 8-hour long board games.
I mean, did you play? Were you one of the original players of Blood Rage with me?
I don't think I ever played Blood Rage.
Okay, because that was like my first real introduction to board games, and it's a fantastic game, but it is one of those, like, it's a 6-hour, huge mechanics, like crazy things going on. I'm like, I'm used to like Monopoly and stuff, but I got super hooked into that world after playing Blood Rage. So like, I've gotten to the point where it's like, oh, you're telling me this is an 8-hour board game where we're gonna get into the weeds on some complicated ticky-tack rules? Sign me up.
I do miss playing games like that. I generally have a good time with it. My thing is, I just always feel like so many times in my life, I've learned how to play the 8-hour board game and been like, man, this is going to be really fun next time, now that I know how it works, and then next time never happens. Instead, it's a different game. Like, oh, man, I want to play the other one more time.
Yep. Yeah, you gotta learn them. You gotta play them, and then you gotta remember the thing.
Yeah, my memory,
which can be hard.
Varies. My brain is rotting.
Yep.
So there you go. There's kind of a rundown of what that'll be. In March, like I said, we're beating everybody on YouTube. SEO, baby. So
welcome
make sure
to
like
all
and
you
subscribe.
new cargo babies out there. I know you're saying these guys are charismatic. I gotta come back for more sweet content. Well, hit that like and subscribe, because we got it for you.
You see all this charisma over here? There, that'll be a great thumbnail. Until next time, bye forever. I'm ready at your command, BZ. Perfect.
Did we do it?
We did it. I didn't mess it up that time.
Okay.